up, Poppy fans in the Ring Army? My name is Nized, Anthony, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm bringing you all another Poppy Playtime Chapter 4 video, and today I'm going to be talking about the disappointment I am seeing from Poppy fans about the new chapter, specifically on the Steam reviews. Of course, before we begin, if you are new here to the channel and are a fan of Poppy Playtime, make sure to leave a like on the video to show support and to make it reach out to other Poppy fans, and also why not subscribe to the channel to join the Ring Army and to not miss any Poppy Playtime news. Make sure to click that notification bell as well, and to help us reach our goal of 60,000 subscribers this year. It'd be very much appreciated, and thank you. Anyways, let's get right into the video. So as you guys know, Poppy Playtime Chapter 4 just got released to the public, and I see a lot of mixed reviews on it. A lot of fans love it, a lot of fans like it, and a lot of fans are very disappointed with it. As you can see here on the Steam reviews, it says mixed. I checked last night and it was mostly positive, and now it's mixed. Yeah, 66% this game has on reviews. Alright, let's go ahead and read the reviews. First one from this guy. They say, good chapter, unfortunately quite buggy currently. One creature didn't spawn in, though I hope that will be fixed soon. I have to say I missed the high intensity moments of the previous chapters as the chases, etc. Just felt shorter, easier, and more boring. Overall, it was a good experience. So I will say this right now. I do agree that this chapter wasn't as intense as the previous ones. Not a lot of very scary moments. There are a few little bits of intensity in the chapter, for example, like the Yarnaby section. That one I did kind of find intense and kind of scary, but you still can't very compare it to like chapter 3, for example. I personally feel like they did Yarnaby the best that they could. His chase though could have been made more differently. I suggested to like maybe add like ground shaking effects when Yarnaby was chasing us to make it more intense, I would say. It could have been made differently. He also said it was easier and more boring, which I could see why people think it's easy. I personally think it's very easy as well, especially the doctor section. That one's very easy once you know the route. This guy says, Chapter 4 introduces a total downgrade after the rich atmosphere and gameplay of Chapter 3. It feels like Chapter 4 attempts to be a nostalgic experience with how bland it makes going through Poppy Playtime once again. Similar to its initial release, Mob Entertainment cannot seem to find an adequate balance between gameplay, level design, and narrative experience. Chapter 4 has a lot of problems. Lighting in most of the levels does not render properly, mostly blinding you throughout the experience. I can only imagine how terrible it is for low spec devices, because clearly the highest setting is not something this game can easily adapt itself to. On the other hand, speedrunners will find it enjoyable as many levels do not render properly. The entire gameplay loop does not bring anything new to the table. It is the same perpetual cycle of jumping, shooting, and running. At this point, it feels like another attempt to squeeze the final drop of mascot horror. Now, I will say this, the devs had a year, if not less, to develop this chapter. I would say that that is not enough time for Mob Entertainment to create a whole new game. I do agree that they should have taken at least a little bit longer, maybe another month of development to just polish out some things here and there. I do agree on how some things don't work properly, especially like, for example, like the Yarnaby AI, the Doctor AI, mostly the AI. I appreciate Mob Entertainment trying new things, and the AI did work for me when I was playing it, but I do notice that some fans are having very big trouble with it. Like I said, Mob Entertainment didn't have a lot of time to develop this chapter. They had to push it out in a year. So for me, it makes sense that not everything is very polished, which I do assume and expect Mob to fix throughout the next few weeks. Maybe another week or two of updates and polishing, and the chapter will be at least playable. Like I said, the gameplay worked fine for me, but I do notice that other fans are having trouble with it. This guy says, it is alright. The animations are goofy and some strange graphic issues, but the story is good, however predictable. And the monsters see you through walls. Also, some bits are very confusing. Now, I do agree that the chapter does have some direction issues. I did notice that when I was playing it for the first time, I had no idea where to go sometimes. I had no idea I even had to look up. So I do agree on that sometimes you are directionless. And yeah, some of the animations are goofy, but I feel like that was like the type of tone they were going for the animations. For example, like Doei's animation is goofy on purpose because he is a Doe character, so he is meant to be all goofy and like, you know, all stretchy like that. But Yarnaby, for example, Yarnaby's animation was decent, but I feel like it could have been more intimidating. It is scary seeing him coming at you, but like seeing him sometimes, you know, turn around just like as one whole body, it does take away the what's the word, the horror atmosphere, I believe is correct. And for the story, I mean, the story is pretty simple. That's what I like about most of the horror games I played. Some of the stories are very simple, very easy to catch on as well. This guy says, hey everyone, here's a non-spoiler review for the chapter from me. It was honestly really good for me. I know some probably prefer chapter 3 over chapter 4, but I prefer 4 just because it has a lot more interesting things going on for me. The characters and lore were awesome for this chapter. The gameplay was also fun, but man, the puzzles gave me trouble playing for the first time. My only issue with this chapter by far is the bugs that need to be fixed and bad lag for certain parts in the chapter. Every game has bugs, so it's not a big issue for me. This chapter is the best one for me, and if anyone disagrees, that's fine. I'm just giving my non-spoiler review for the game and an actual review for the chapter. Anyways, thanks for listening. I'm looking forward to the next chapter, aka 5. Take care. This guy was down to earth. He was very upfront about the chapter. He liked it, but there are some bugs that are inevitably in the game right now. Like I said, I do agree that there are some bugs, and I know Mob Entertainment will be fixing them as the weeks go by, just like how they did it with chapter 3 last year. And also for the puzzles, yes, I do agree that some puzzles may be confusing at first, but once you get the hang of it, it is pretty easy. This guy says, this DLC is insanely scuffed. One boss never spawned, one boss kept running into a wall, and one boss kept teleporting. I ran into so many soft locks in the game due to dumb bugs. A vent got blocked because I pulled off a wooden plank in the wrong order, somehow making the other one impossible to remove. My hands kept launching across the map, dragging me into random directions. The maps were a mess. Broken areas, objects spawning wrong, missing walls, falling through the floor, and lighting glitches that made everything brighter than the sun. The only saving grace was the incredible story, stunning animations, and top tier voice acting. Speaking of voice acting, if you guys didn't know, I make a voice cameo in the new chapter. And thank you to everyone who congratulated me. It was so cool to finally get to talk about it. You had no idea how long I've waited, and now it's finally out. In case you missed my voice cameo, I was in the yellow tape of the 1993 theater incident. I was specialist number 5, which is very fitting because that tape was about Project Playtime, and you guys know I'm crazy for Project. So this guy says that the gameplay was very buggy for him, but he did enjoy the voice acting, the story, and the animations, which I do agree with. Even though the game is not very in the best state right now, I do agree that the story and the voice acting and the animations for the characters were like the best part, especially the animations, man. Like whoever animated Doey, great job. Great job. I really did enjoy Doey's animations. This guy just says Poppy Playtime had no Poppy playtesters. They do have some beta testers, and they are friends of mine, and I know them. And trust me, they did the best they could, and they are very helpful. I also want to become a beta tester. I really want to help Mob Entertainment with that stuff. This guy just says it's very buggy at the moment. You can get soft locked after killing the doctor in the gas room that sets you an hour back. You can fall through the map in Doey's boss chase. Items aren't rendering. Puzzles slow the game down a lot and more. I got soft locked in the Doey chase scene because he'd be running before I load in. The lighting is horrible, where you can get flashbanged by a horrible lighting. Yarnaby can just know where you are at all times. Enemies get caught onto each other. Hands are floating around and frames are horrible. The story would have been great if there weren't so many horrible bugs. There were many times I felt like I was troubleshooting the game more often than actually playing and enjoying the game. If you ever get soft locked, use the load feature. Otherwise, good luck. Now, I did run into the flashbang bug. This happens in that little area where you have to find the machine parts. Like, it is very bright in there. I do agree. And as he said, the game is very buggy at the moment. And you guys know I do agree on that, but I know they can fix it. I've also read a lot of comments on YouTube videos and on Twitter that people are very disappointed with Pianosaurus, including myself. I was very upset that Pianosaurus did not even get a minute of screen time. They created a character and gave him a highlight, and they just killed him off in just 5 seconds, which I can't say I am disappointed with as well, though I do hope he somehow returns in a future chapter or somehow, because he really is a cool character, if not my favorite character in the chapter, which is why I hope he does come back in some way. Justice for Pianosaurus. And I also see like a lot of people saying that they are disappointed with the doctor, which is very understandable. I kind of expected to see the doctor a lot, which we barely get like maybe a minute or two of him. We don't see the monitors with the eye like at all, only that one time in the beginning of the game, and after that it's just a voice. And even in the doctor section, we don't see him physically there, just his clones running around. And I didn't even know we killed him until Poppy said it, which is why the hate for the doctor section is understandable, but I personally do like that section. It just could have been executed better with the doctor's death. But overall, people are very mixed on this new chapter. I might make a review on this chapter when I have time, but until then, I will say I do enjoy the chapter and I do understand the hate and the disappointment that this chapter has, but it is still very impressive of what Mob made in just under a year. Well, anyways, if you guys did enjoy the video, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe to join the Ring Army. My name is Nized, and I'll speak to you guys on the next run.